Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a bunch of new products that I recently bought, and some of them I've talked about a little bit during my makeup haul video. I think it was part 2, and some of them are completely new and I haven't tried them on. So I thought I will try these products with you guys and see what I make of them. So I'm going to be swatching them, applying them on my face and sharing my final thoughts. So if you're interested, keep on watching. So the first product I have is the Smith & Cult Foaming Primer. So I found this interesting because it foams, and there's another one I saw at Sephora. It's from Origins, and I think I'm going to be trying that primer as well in the future, but let's see how this one goes. So this one, actually, I think you can apply just as it is, just for brightening up the skin, as well as use it as a primer. And it claims to give you instant radiance. It has skin calming ginseng. It has skin brightening vitamin E, and it gives you a luminous finish. So definitely if you're looking for a glowy finish, that's what this primer is for. And I think you have to just shake it. So what I'm going to do is right now I don't have anything on my face except for my Tatcha Essence Plumping Liquid. That's all I have on my face, no moisturizer, nothing. So I'm going to be applying this on one side of my face, and the other side I'm just going to leave it as it is so we can see how it looks. So I'll just spray this on my arm. I don't want to overdo it on my face. So this is how it looks, and I'll just take this. I'm just going to take a brush actually and just apply this on my left side, and it definitely looks super white, but I think it will calm down. I think I should clip my hair. So a little definitely goes a long way. I still have leftover, which I don't need. And one pump, I think, is enough for the full face. I feel like it has smoothened my wrinkles here, like the lines that I have. Feels nice. So it's definitely brightening. I won't use it standalone because it doesn't match my skin tone and it's too white for my skin shade, but let's see how it works as a primer. Now I wanted to try out some of the foundation stuff. So this is the Dior foundation. It's the Forever Skin Glow Lasting Hydration Foundation, and this is in the shade 3N. And this is supposed to give you like first of all, it has SPF, and it's supposed to give you like 24 wear radiant perfection skin caring foundation with sunscreen. So I have heard good reviews about this one, so I'm excited to try this out. And I have the two foundation brushes with me. So this is from Makeup Forever and this is from Sephora. This is I think an expensive brush, but I got a good deal. I think there were 4 brushes in one set and I got it at a discount, so they were around $20 per brush. And this here is a $6 brush from Sephora. So this is on sale right now, and so I was curious to see how these, compare. So I'm going to be applying foundation with this brush on this side with the primer, and the cheaper brush I'm going to use on the side where I don't have primer. So let's see how it goes. So here is the foundation. It's a glass component and I really like the packaging, and I actually really like Dior foundations. I have their Backstage Body foundation and the other one, the spray one. I love them both, so I was very curious to see how this one works. Now I'll just take the Makeup Forever brush and just apply this on the left side. And usually I have noticed that when you use these kind of brushes, sometimes there's creasing, but I feel like this one is working really well. There's no creasing, and I think the shade matches my skin as well, especially with that whole brightening thing underneath. I feel like this is matching my skin tone. I love this brush. There is absolutely no streaks. I mean, the glow is pretty obvious, right? It's super shiny. I think I'll have to powder it down, but I'm liking what I see so far. All right, now I'll take the Sephora brush and again go into the foundation and just applying this on my right side. I feel like this brush is also doing a pretty good job. Now I don't know honestly if it's the foundation or whether this brush will work great with other foundations as well, but definitely works really well with this one. I love how this blends. This is just one layer, and I see there is pretty amazing coverage actually. Wow. So this side has the primer and this one doesn't, but I feel like both sides look pretty glowy and I don't see any streaking whatsoever. But in person I can tell that this one is a little bit more shiny. This one is a little bit mellow comparatively. Yeah, especially this side, like I can really tell. I think that's the primer which is adding that high shine to the face. I love this. Next, just to keep the hydration on my face intact, I don't want to use too much powder right now. So I'm going to try this Rare Beauty foundation brush to contour my face, and I'm going to use the Tom Ford cream contour and just add some warmth and just add some shadows on my face. And you already know I love this brush for applying blushes, for applying foundation, and for applying cream contour. I think this is an amazing brush. It's so soft and it's nicely packed, and I like it so much that I bought two. So one is for contouring and one is for applying foundation. That's how much I like this brush. So the next product I have are two eye products. The first one is the Bobbi Brown eye base. So I've been using the Bobbi Brown primer and I have been loving that so much that I wanted to try this eye base. And the next one is the Huda Beauty Haze Obsessions palette, and this one's the khaki one. And this is how it looks. So I love green and I kind of liked the color story here, but I don't know how these shades work. I loved her Mercury Retrograde palette, but I haven't been a big fan of her Obsessions. So I wanted to try this out and see how it goes. So I'm going to be trying one look out of this and swatching all of these shades. So let's start with the matte shades. So of course I'm going to be swatching the most exciting shade I think in this palette, and this is the khaki shade, and it's this nice dirty green shade, and it's swatching pretty great. It was pretty creamy to swatch. The next shade I want to pick up is this light shade, and it's this nice peachy shade. And wait, I had some product on that finger, so let me use a cleaner finger. So that's the peachy shade. The next one I want to pick up is this nice rusty shade. Next I'm taking this dark rusty shade. I feel like this is such a nice fall color scheme. And the last one is this dark shade. It's a pretty nice dark brown shade. Now swatching the shimmery shades, I want to take up this pink shade first. So it's this pinky gold shade, but I don't think it swatches really well. We'll see how it applies on the eye. The next one I'm taking is this gold shade, and this one seems to be a little bit more pigmented than the pink one. There's this other greenish gold shade here. Ooh, I like this one. And the last shade is this copper shade. Yeah, this one's pretty nice too. I think the only disappointing shade so far that didn't swatch well was this pink one. So I have applied a little bit of concealer on the right side, and on the left side where I had the primer, I am just applying the eye base. So let's see how the eye look turns out with the eye base compared to the concealer as the base. And now I'll just wait for this to dry. So here I have my Van Gogh's blending brush, and this is the number 16 brush. And I'm going to start slow, so I'll just take this peachy shade and apply that as transition. I really like her matte shades in the Retrograde palette. I think that's a lovely palette, and I'm kind of expecting the same from this palette as well. And I feel like on this side, this peachy shade shows up a little bit more compared to this side. And I think that's the eye base talking. Or maybe it's because this side is a little bit darker. Maybe that's why it shows up. But I can definitely see a difference. I'll take this khaki shade that I'm so excited about and just apply this on my crease and a little bit on the lid. Nothing fancy here. I think it's blending out pretty nicely on both sides actually. Next I'm going to go with my Esom brush into this greenish gold shade and apply this all over the lid. And this is kind of like a shimmery shade, so I'm not sure if the brush will work, but let's see. Yeah, it's not the best brush I think to apply this shade. Let me try my finger. Yeah, definitely the finger works better with this formula. I think it looks really nice though. I want to brighten up my eyes, so I'll just take this golden shade, and this time I'm using the Huda Beauty sponge to apply this on the inner corner, because applying these kind of shades with finger on the inner corner is a little bit tricky and it can mess up the eye. So I actually like one of these sponges to do this. Now just to blend this all out, I'll just take this peachy shade one more time and just blend this all out with the brush and take care of any additional extra golden glitter that is over applied. I love how this works. Looks really nice. I'll just deepen up with this khaki shade one more time. Deepen the edges. Getting a nice green smoky look with this palette. Definitely loving this. And I feel like whether it was the concealer or the eye base, I think it's showing up pretty well on both sides. Now before I finish the rest of my eye, I'm just going to apply concealer on both sides, and this is my Giorgio Armani 5.25 shade, and it's a nice light shade. And I'm taking the Rare Beauty concealer brush. I have tried this brush as a brush for highlighter, like the cream highlighters, but I haven't tried this for concealer as much, and so I thought I'll test it out. It definitely takes a little bit more time compared to the Sigma brush that I have. That one is a little bit bigger, so it's faster, but this one is a little precise. Even though it takes a little bit time, I feel like it applies the concealer really well. And there's more control with this one. Just reapplying the contouring shade one more time wherever I have applied a little bit of extra concealer, just to even this out. And I'll just powder this down with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder, and this is the new Makeup Forever brush. This is, I think, 152 wavy, and it's a nice blush brush that I got as part of that set. And let's see how this works. I mean, it's so soft. I love these brushes from Makeup Forever. And yeah, it applies the airbrush powder really well and just kind of mattifies a little bit, makes it all nice airbrushed. I love this powder. Now resuming the eye look. So I'll go into this light rustic shade and apply this on my lower eye. And just blend it all out. And taking the tighter brush, this is the Sonia G Builder 3 brush, and just applying this on my lower lid, just closer to the lash line. And I just want to smoke out this look a little bit more with this dark shade on the upper lid. Now I'll just take this copper shade, just in the interest of trying all the shades, and just apply this towards the lower eye, towards the inner corner. I might have over applied this, and I'll just clean it up. So now let me put some lashes and come back. So while I was away, I just applied this pink shade with my Sonia G Build a 3 brush and just apply this on the brow as well, just to add a little bit of highlight. And yeah, so that's the finished look. The next product I have is the Rare Beauty blush, and this is in the shade Bliss. So this is one of her liquid blushes that she recently came up with, and I wasn't planning on buying any of these blushes because I already love my Patrick Ta cream blushes, but I couldn't resist. I just wanted to try this one shade and see how it works. So this one is a really light shade. All the other shades are pretty pigmented and really dark, and you have to be careful, but this one seems like it would be a little bit easier to manage. So that's the reason why I wanted to try this on. So I'll just apply this shade on both sides and be a little generous with it, and taking the same Rare Beauty brush, just blend it out. I feel like this definitely looks really pretty, and it's a matte formula compared to the, I mean, there are like 3-4 dewy ones, and this one's the matte one. I did try the other, I think it was Grace that I have, a mini size one, and I actually really liked how it applied. So that's the reason why I wanted to try this one. It does show up on my skin tone, and actually in person it looks a little bit more compared to what I see on my camera. Because of the lights, I think the color doesn't show up as much on screen, but in person it definitely looks really pretty. It's this lovely muted coral shade, but I think anybody who's darker than me should not probably go for this one. It won't show up as much, so other shades might work better for them. But I think anybody with my skin tone and lighter would definitely enjoy this blush. It's really nice, and this brush is so good for this formula. I love it. So I do want to build this up a little bit, so I have the Hourglass mini palette handy, and I'm just going with the bronzer from this palette and just deepen up this look, and taking the blush from this one and just adding this blush, the darker one, towards the edges, not towards the center, because this one is a little bit light and I want a little bit deeper blush just to match up the eye look, because the eye look is a little bit, you know, smoky. All right, so the last 2 products I have are lip products. So this one's the YSL Glow Slim Matte Lipsticks. I have the other Rouge Couture matte lipsticks, and I was just curious how these work. So they are supposed to give you a glowy yet matte finish look. And the other product I have is the Makeup Forever lip liner, and this is in the shade 14C. So let's swatch it on the arm first. The shade that I have from this YSL lipstick, it's Restrictive Pink, and looks really pretty. I think it will match up with the lip liner. So let's try this on. So this lip liner seems like it's going to stick around. I like the shade too. Now let's apply the lipstick. It kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury formula, the one which has Bond Girl in it, the kissing lipstick formula, I think. Yeah, it's really smooth and creamy, really comfortable. I don't know if my lips are glowing because of this lipstick, but it definitely feels really smooth. It has that matte finish, but not so much. Like, it's not completely matte. I feel like it's definitely one of those moisturizing lipsticks. I don't think it's a matte lipstick per se. All right, so here is the finished look. I'm kind of really loving this look, and I think it's nice and fall. It goes with my outfit. So really enjoying this. Now let's talk about the products. So the foundation and the primer. I feel like, I mean, I can't tell the difference between both my sides. I think they look pretty much the same, but it could be a combination of, the powder and the blush and everything, so it's not that noticeable. But before I had applied all of these products, you could tell the difference between the one with the primer versus the one without the primer. So it definitely adds that glow to the face. But because I've mattified the whole thing with powder, I think it's a little subdued and you can't really tell the difference. But I feel like both sides look nice. Maybe this side lasts a little bit longer than this side. I don't know, I'll have to see. But other than that, I feel like, yeah, you could live without this primer. But it did a good job. Let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. So this one, I wasn't planning on liking it, but I was just drawn to this color story because it has greens and I love green and it's fall and it has this interesting khaki shade. So I kind of was drawn to this color story, but I didn't expect it to apply really well, especially because when I swatched them, they didn't swatch really great. But as you apply them on the eye, I think they blended really well. They were really easy to work with. The shimmer shades, I think, were a little bit tricky. So you need to use your fingers for these, and maybe a sponge applicator would work best for these. A normal shader brush might not work for these shades, but the mattes were like normal matte shades and they worked really well. Now it's a little bit pricey. It's $29, so it's definitely not supposed to be that expensive. I mean, there are better palettes, or at least similar palettes in a lower price range. So in that sense, I feel like this is not worth your money. But other than that, like if you don't mind spending $29 on this palette, I think you will enjoy this palette. I definitely enjoyed applying these shades on my eye, and I feel like the shades in this, you can create a lot of smoky looks and even like simple looks. Like if you just combine these two shades or these two shades with a little bit of this dark shade, I feel like you can create simple looks as well as, darker coppery and green smoky looks. So yeah, I actually really like this one. Let's talk brushes. So the Rare Beauty ones, you already know, I love these brushes. I think they apply the cream contour, the foundation and the concealer. Like, they are really, really amazing and multifunctional. So definitely worth your money. And these foundation brushes, the Makeup Forever and the Sephora ones, I feel like both were really great. This one's a little bit more softer. This one's a little more stiff comparatively, but when you apply them, I feel like the result was pretty much the same. Maybe this brush the expensive one might work a little bit better with other foundations, but with the foundation that I use today, I think both worked really well. So yeah, you could definitely try this $6 brush and see how it goes. And if you like these kind of brushes to apply foundation, maybe you could invest in the Makeup Forever one. But yeah, they both work really well. Now, talking about the Makeup Forever blush brush, this is the number 152 wavy brush. I feel like this is a really nice brush because first of all, it's soft and it's small, so it gives you this precise application of the blushes as well as the powder product for under your eye, and just in general, sweeping through different powder products on the face. I feel like this is really nice, and I love the fact that it's so silky and smooth. So definitely worth checking out. Speaking of blushes, I want to talk about the Rare Beauty blush. This is the Bliss shade. I feel like this is a nice pigmented yet forgiving shade. I've seen other reviews and even I've tried the Grace one. They are very, very pigmented, so you have to be careful. But this particular shade, because it's so light, you can go a little bit heavy-handed and you can get away with it. So that's what I really like about this particular shade. And it definitely shows up on my skin tone, but you can't see it as much on camera as you can see in person. But I feel like this is really, really pretty. And also, I feel like this particular shade, you can build up the blush look with other darker shades after applying this as a base, and it gives you that nice gradients, and you can, apply a little bit darker shades to contour the face. So I feel like this is a lovely shade. This one is a matte shade. I want to definitely invest in the dewy ones in future because I am really enjoying this formula. I almost forgot about the eye primer update, and I was just checking out the eye look, and I feel like you can't tell the difference between both eyes. I think the pigment shows up really well on both sides, whether it's with the concealer or with the eye base. I think it looks pretty even. I did enjoy applying this on the eye, and this has like nutrients that are good for the eye, like vitamin E and hydration and all of that. So in that sense, I feel like this is a good product to apply on the eye before, doing your eye makeup. Or if you are someone who doesn't like applying concealer on the eye and feel that it might be a little bit more drying, then I feel like this is a nice primer to apply on the eye for doing your eye looks. And last but not the least, the lip products. So I was just trying to, rub this off, and it does budge, but not so much. It was definitely creamy to apply. I feel like the Pat McGrath and the Charlotte Tilbury lip liners might be a little bit better, but there's a very faint difference. I feel like even this one did a great job. I definitely enjoyed applying this lipstick a lot. This is really pigmented, creamy, soft, hydrating, matte, but not the drying matte. It's the moisturizing matte. And that's the reason why it reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Kissing Formula. I think that one is also like the matte hydrating look. So a little bit of an update. I have ordered a bunch of these lipsticks because I was intrigued by the shade selection of these lipsticks. I feel like they are very different from the Charlotte Tilbury ones. I don't own a lot of Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, but yeah, the shades are very different. So I have ordered all of them, or pretty much all of them. And once they're here, I will be swatching all of them for you guys. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I think that's all I have for today. So let me know in the comment section how you like this video. If you did enjoy this video, do give it a thumbs up. And I hope you subscribe to my channel. And until the next time we meet, bye.